right. And we're back with Athletic Arena Podcast. I'm G. This is Mac. We're back for our next week's video. I had a bad week last week. If y'all lost because of me, I apologize. It was terrible last week. I had a terrible week last week. I'm just gonna put it that way. And it happens. It happens. And that's what gambling's about. You get good weeks, you get bad weeks. It just happens. But just to put it out, next week we won't have a video, but we will have our picks put out. You can find us on Facebook, Athletic Arena Podcast. And then of course here on YouTube, I'll also put the picks out for next week. I'm going on vacation. James has stuff he's got to get done, so we won't be doing a video next week, but we will be putting out our picks. So be looking out for that. And let's jump right into it, James. Let's get into this week's top 25 for college football.
Yep.
First game up right off the bat, Red River Shootout, Oklahoma and Texas. Texas is a 6.5 point favorite, and both teams are 5-0. What do you got?
Somebody's O has to go.
Yes, somebody's O's got to go.
Oklahoma's been playing great, but Texas has I guess more battle tested. So I would go with Texas, especially after they played Kansas, and they did what they had to do. Like, I thought it was gonna be closer, but they kind of beat them up. They beat them up. So I'm gonna go with Texas money line on this one.
Oh, you got a money line on this one?
Oh yeah, Texas money line. I'm because Oklahoma's offensive looked extremely explosive. I mean, but it's against mid-level teams, this and that. Texas has been, they beat Alabama. So I'm gonna go with Texas money line on that
one. For me, I like how Oklahoma's playing. Honestly, I think that spread's too much. I think it's gonna be a 3-point game. It's a rivalry game. If you haven't noticed this year, all these rival games have come down to 3 points or the final play of the game with jumping it in for a touchdown, like Ohio State, Notre Dame. It just
you mean like Duke Notre Dame too?
Oh, don't even bring that up. Yes, Duke Notre Dame. Yes, I had Duke 5.5, and I would have hit too because Fresno State won, and I had Fresno State too. But for me, I'm gonna bump mine up just in case it is a touchdown. So I'm gonna bump mine to 7.5, 8 points, and I'm gonna take Oklahoma, just so that way
covered.
I cover, yes, because all these close games have they've come down to the last minute, and I actually like college football for that because look at the Colorado game, Colorado and USC. USC came out 21-0 in the first quarter, and Colorado came back and made it a 7-point game. Like, that was a good hit for us. Well, I know for me it was a good hit. I don't know if you took that one, but yeah, I just think it's going to be a lot closer game, especially because it's a rivalry game. Both teams know each other real well, and yeah, I want to cover on that one. But let's go ahead and move over to Maryland and Ohio State. Ohio State and Maryland are both undefeated, and Ohio State is a 20-point favorite. What do you think on this one?
I'll take that. I'll move that line to 21.5. There's no, I mean, it's all like Tua's, little brother. He's the quarterback for Maryland. He's been lighting it up. I mean, he's right there at like 4th in the nation in passing yards. But 13 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. He's been lighting it up, and Maryland did what Ohio State couldn't. They really, really handled Indiana. So I'm going to take the points with Maryland easily.
And you said at 21?
Oh, 21.5.
21
keep that coverage over.
Yeah. honestly, I think Ohio State's gonna win. I mean, they just had a bye. There's the huge game against Notre Dame, and then they had their bye week, so they're well rested. Um, I think Ohio State's gonna win, but like you said, I'm thinking 21. I think that's just too much, or 20. That's a little too much, but just in case to cover, I agree with you. Move it up to 21 and a half, just so that way you can cover that spread. And it's at 20. I know if you're on Bovada, like we are, um, also hit that link in the description and you can get bonuses through Bovada. Don't forget about that. Um, and with Bovada, you can usually move the lineup about 2 points, 2.5 points around there, up or down. So definitely jump that up to 21 and a half. And I agree with you on that one. Let's get over to Washington State versus UCLA. UCLA is a 3.5 point favorite. They're 3-1, and Washington State is undefeated. I'm taking Washington State with the
Me too.
points.
Me
Like
too.
the way they've been playing, like that's like a give me right there. Like, what are they? I don't know what Vegas is thinking. Maybe they know something we don't know, but
Mm,
I mean, to me, that as soon as I seen that, I was like, wait, really? You got a top 15 in the country, possibly top 10, and they're underdogs to UCLA?
hmm
Like, yeah, I'm taking the points.
Yeah, me too. I'll move it to like 3.5 and
Yeah,
take Washington State.
yeah, it's at 3.5.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I would do.
that's what I'm gonna take it at too.
Mm.
Let's get on over to LSU versus Missouri.
Ooh.
This is gonna be a coin flip. LSU is 3-2, Missouri is undefeated. LSU is a 6 point favorite. Um, I don't I can't I can't bet on LSU. Every time I try to bet on LSU, they let me down. I had them
I
last
was,
week and they let me down.
yeah, I was looking at Missouri. Like I'll probably take Missouri in the points, definitely. Probably move it up to, if I could, 7.5, but definitely 7, and go there with that. It's just LSU, yeah, against teams that are like on their level, they just let it's just, yeah, they don't win so far this year, I'll say.
Yeah, that's me. I agree with you on that one. And I'm not just trying to agree with you because you had a better record last year or last week. Um it's I just can't they're like Georgia. Take the spread against any team that Georgia's playing and you're gonna win. They haven't hit the spread yet this year. And I believe that's why they're starting to drop in the rankings.
Hmm
Um if you haven't yet and you guys like what you've been hearing, go ahead and hit that like, follow, and subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Athletic Arena Podcast. You can find us there, and I post daily on Facebook, so check us out. Let's get into our next game of Virginia Tech and Florida State. Florida State is undefeated 4-0. They're number 5 in the country. Virginia Tech is 2-3, and Florida State is a 24 point favorite.
hmm I'm gonna go with Florida State with the points. I mean, Rutgers doesn't even have nearly the defense Florida State has, and they put hands all over them. Florida State, they've been battle tested. They came off a bye, so I think they got time to rest and recuperate, especially after being taken to the brink with Boston College. Yeah, I'll take that 23.5 with Florida State.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna take mine at 23.5. Um, just so that way they could cover it a little bit. Florida
I
State's
hit
coming
that
off of a
24.
yeah, they're coming off of their bye from last week. Um, I think they're gonna have a good week coming up this week against Virginia Tech. and I'll take the points all day like that. Um, let's get to Alabama and Texas A&M. Both teams are 4-1, and I'm not sure if the spread has moved, but it was 2 points when I was writing everything down earlier today. But I believe it's at 1.5 for Alabama now.
It is.
I'm sure it's going to start dropping some more. Um, Texas A&M has looked good. They just, you know,
Against that game against Florida, they just
they fumbled the ball
wet
against
the bed.
Florida. Yeah.
Um,
And Alabama
Alabama.
and Alabama is not Alabama of years before where they're just dominating everybody. Alabama has its weaknesses. This is probably one of the worst Alabama teams that we've seen in years.
Hmm.
And that's hard to say. For me, I'm gonna take uh this is a coin flip. I'll take Alabama with the points, 1.5. Um, I just think maybe you know what? No, I'm gonna change my pick right here. Texas A&M just got lit the fuck up, and I think they're gonna come back and be pissed off. And I think give me Texas A&M with the points to cover, if not win it. I just remembered that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. This is Jimbo Fisher, aka Bubble Screen King. I'm gonna go with Alabama. I'm gonna bump the spread up to 2.5 just to get that field goal coverage over. Just because it's Jimbo Fisher. And yeah, I don't. If Florida put hands all over them, Alabama's defense could do whatever they can to make this game a little bit comfortable. But I see them winning by a touchdown. But I'm gonna go with Alabama at minus 2.5.
Well, yeah, that's gonna be a good game. Um, let's get over to our next one. Uh, Syracuse goes to North Carolina. North Carolina's 4-0. Syracuse is 4-1. And North Carolina is an 8-point favorite. To me, I think Syracuse is going to cover the points. But if you safe bet, North Carolina money line for this game.
I'm gonna move that spread up to 9.5. North Carolina just played a team similar to Syracuse, a super run heavy team in Minnesota, and they beat them easily, handling. They
Yeah.
kind of looked crazy in the first two quarters, but then they just took off on them. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
bump it up to 9.5 and take North Carolina to win.
Yeah, that sounds I mean that I would put that for like one of my gambling bets. Like, you know how you do a safe bet and then you put
Oh
one
yeah,
that a gambling bet. Like, yeah, I would go 9.5 in one of my in that gambling bet, but let's move on to the next one. Um, this game right here, just like I said, Kentucky and Georgia, they're both undefeated. Georgia is a 15-point favorite. Take this. I'm taking Kentucky with the points.
exactly.
Like,
No question whatsoever. I'm doing the same thing. That's just like Devin Leary. They finally got ranked too. Yeah, Devin
yeah,
Leary. They should have been ranked, but I don't get why they weren't. But yeah, Devin Leary and how they playing. And this is what I was saying before, like how they're not doing what they're supposed to do, but they're still number one. Like they're not gonna. I don't see them covering this, especially if Auburn took them to the brink. Auburn isn't even ranked or anything like that. I mean,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Auburn almost beat them. Um, I'm I'm actually gonna move this down to 13 and a half to for them to cover just because I think it's gonna be a closer game than what it is, but that's just me. Um, if y'all haven't heard already, we are now officially a Bovada affiliate. Um, that's what I was talking about. The link in the description. We now have ads for it. We can post up, and y'all can click our links and gamble through Bovada if you guys want to, and get them cash bonuses back. And they do have casino. They do have slots. They do have live poker, live dealer. If y'all are into that stuff, they have all that. Um, let's get to our next game. We got Michigan versus Minnesota, and Michigan is a 19-point favorite. Of course, they're undefeated, 5-0. Minnesota's 3-2. Um, for me, safe bet. Move the points down to 17 and a half for Michigan.
Safe bet, same thing. I would move it to 17 and a half. Betting. I mean, it could happen parlay. I would move it to 20 and a half only because North Carolina did the same thing. They beat them by 20 and they don't have the defense that Michigan has. So that's what I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This is one of my guarantees for the week. Michigan is going to win. Um, if you want to gamble, move it up to 21, 20 and a half, just so that way you cover with 21. But I think Michigan comes and blows out Minnesota this weekend. If you haven't already, hit that like, follow, subscribe, follow us on Facebook, also Athletic Arena Podcast, and share this video with your friends. Next game we got Notre Dame and Louisville. Notre Dame is a 6.5-point favorite. They're 5-1, and Louisville is undefeated at 5-0. To me, the way Louisville's been playing, this is gonna be a 3-point game. This is gonna be another one of them close games. Notre Dame kind of fumbled the bet a little bit against Ohio State there at the end. I just think it's gonna be a lot closer game just because Louisville's been playing pretty decent the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm. Um, I'm just I'm just gonna go with Notre Dame money line just because I, I believe they'll win in the end because that's after that Ohio State game they proved against Duke. I mean it was seconds that
Yes.
they came out and won. Louisville kind of struggled against NC State, which they're and not really there this year. Mainly because I think they let go of Devin Leary. And Devin Leary hit the transfer portal and now he's with Kentucky. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with Notre Dame.
Yeah, for like I said, this is going to be a close game. I do think Notre
Money
Dame will
line.
end up winning. Um, but I just think 6.5 is a little too much. That does cover a touchdown, so that would be a push. Actually, just so that way I can cover because he screwed me last week. I'm gonna take this one at 7.5 so I can cover because he screwed me last week. I took 5.5 against Duke and I got screwed with 13 seconds left in the game. And I'm not gonna let this kid screw me again 2 weeks in a row. I'm telling you, that was like a $400 or $500 bet off of $3. It would have been nice. And then I had a second bet right behind it to add on to it, so it would have been another $200 on top of it. I could have hit for $600-700 off of $6.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to our next game. Arkansas, Ole Miss. Ole Miss is an 11.5-point favorite. They're 4-1, 2-3, and Arkansas is 2-3. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
see I see Ole Miss just coming out and destroying them here.
Mm-hmm.
But for safe bet, I'm gonna take Ole Miss money line here, just for
Yeah,
just for a safe bet.
that's what I was gonna say. I'm safe bet. I'm gonna do Ole Miss money line. Arkansas, they've lost the games they have lost. They were against good teams, somewhat. I mean LSU, but that was a close game. They were actually getting blown out, and they came back in the end and still lost by a field goal. So yeah, I'm
Yeah,
gonna go with Ole Miss money line because I see it being a close game.
yeah, I agree with
But
you.
it can go either way. So it can go either way with the points, but I still see Ole Miss winning, beating Arkansas. So yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, when I seen this game, I was like, "Ooh, it's gonna." Ole Miss can pull it out and it will win. 11.5 is a little too much for me to see it. because Arkansas could
Hmm.
show up and make it a game. I mean, we've had underdog. If you're betting underdogs and uh the under on a lot of these games, like a lot of people like to do, I mean, they're killing it on some of them. But let's get to our next game. We got Georgia Tech taking on number 17 Miami. Miami is a 21-point favorite. They're undefeated at 4-0. Georgia Tech is 2-3. This is one of my locks this week. Take
Yeah,
Miami.
if I could push the line to 27.5, I would. But Georgia Tech, they were actually what I think a 2 touchdown favorite against Bowling Green.
Yes.
Bowling Green, and then they got trashed. So yeah, and Miami's they're playing. Like I said, they got something to prove, especially since last year. People were taking shots at them all year long. Um, yeah, they're gonna put hands all over them,
Oh
and
yes.
they're gonna yeah. I,
And
I I would go definitely. I mean, it's the spread is at 21.5. I could most you could probably move it to, depending on which platform, it's probably 23, maybe. If you can get that 23, I think that is safe and perfect for you.
I mean, you could get that 28-point spread whenever Miami comes out in the first quarter and just scores real quick and
Oh
the
yeah,
spread pumps up real quick. I mean, you can get 28, but
man. Yeah,
yes,
Georgia Tech is that was kind of embarrassing.
and yes, if y'all don't know, Bovada is live betting, so you can go on while the game's going on and put your bets in whenever. Um, let's get to
Mm,
our next game. We got Fresno State taking on Wyoming. Fresno State is 5-0. Wyoming is 4-1. Fresno State is a 6-point favorite. To me, I don't know. This is gonna be a good one, if you ask me. I'm gonna take Fresno State money line. Um,
yeah, I'm doing the same thing. Wyoming looked really good against Texas. They gave them a first half run for their money before they finally pulled away. But yeah, I'm gonna go Fresno State money line.
yeah, I agree with you. Um, yeah, that's if you wanted to. I mean, you could take Fresno State and move it down to 3.5, 4.5. I would take that. Um, but for safe bet, yeah, money line. Go Fresno State here, money line. Next game we got Oregon State versus Cal. Oregon State is a 9.5-point favorite. They're 4-1, and Cal is 3-2. To me, take the points. If you want to be safe, drop it down to the 7.5, 8.5. If you wanted a safe bet, but for me, I'm going to take the points with Oregon State.
I'm actually ramping this up one, and the most I can ramp it up, if I can ramp it up to 13.5, I would, because California only has wins against garbage teams. And when they play good teams, like when they play Washington, they got thrashed by like 38 points. So yeah, I'm definitely taking Oregon State with the points and more if I could.
Well, I mean, for you can move it up 2 points, so you would take it at 11.5 or 11.
Easily, easily.
Okay, I'll put you down for 11 right here. And for our last game, we got Arizona going over to USC. USC is a 21.5-point favorite. They're undefeated, and Arizona is 3-2. This is our last lock for college football for this week. And I'm taking USC with the points here. The way USC's been playing, I just don't see Arizona being able to keep up with them.
Okay.
I
Um,
didn't like that look you gave me.
I'm going Arizona with the point only because uh, Arizona played Washington last week with Michael Penix, and he is the nation's leading passer all the way around. With a crazy offense with two wide receivers. They had 1,000 yards. Washington only won by one touchdown. And they came down to the end, and I think they got a better offense and a better defense than USC. So yeah, I would definitely take those points. I'll take Arizona plus 21.
I might take that bet for my gambling bet. But yeah, that'll do it for our top 25. Um again, if you guys haven't, hit that like button, subscribe, share the video with your friends, follow us on Facebook. But let's jump into, what are we, week 4 of the NFL? Week 5?
Week 5.
Week 5 of the NFL. And it starts, dang, can you believe it's already 5 weeks into football? Here we were waiting for football to happen, and I can't wait for football. I can't wait for football. And now we're 5 weeks deep into it. A month's already gone away.
Scary.
Yes. And let's just get it out of the way. This whole Swifty, Travis Kelce shit that's going on. Can we please stop with this shit? I'm tired of looking on FanDuel or some of my or other betting apps, and they have freaking bets named after Taylor Swift for Travis Kelce to score. Like, really? And then y'all are over there selling Kelce jerseys with Swifty on the back of it. Like, what the hell?
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. Let's stop with it. Leave this man's personal life out of it and let him go play. If they're fucking, they're fucking. We'll find out when they're married. Who cares? Jeez. But anyways, let's get into tomorrow night's game. We got Chicago taking on Washington. Chicago's hasn't won yet. If the draft happened today, they'd have the first 2 picks of the draft.
Thanks to Carolina.
Yes. Washington is a 5.5 point favorite, and they're 2-2. To me, I don't know. I kind of think Chicago might get a win here, but I don't think so. I think Washington's going to come out. Eric Bieniemy's actually, with his play calling, he's doing good over there in Washington. Washington's playing good right now. To me, I'm going to take Washington money line on this one.
Mm-hmm. Same here. I'm gonna take Washington. They have a running joke going on. They said this is a whole thing with Chase Claypool and how they told him don't show up to the game, and then they were coming out. They were throwing passes and everything. So I don't know if it was him, if he's toxic or what, but I mean maybe. But Justin Fields looked great, and they lost in the end. But I'm still going to go with Washington. I think they just have more of a balanced offense, not just a consistent balanced offense. Not to mention their defense, that front four is crazy. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go with Washington.
Yeah, I agree with you. You taking money or the points?
Money line, Washington.
Yeah, that's me too. Let's go over with this game, man. When I say let's go across the pond for this one. We got the Jaguars taking on the Bills. Jaguars played in England last week, so of course they stayed. Buffalo has to travel. Did you hear what the mayor did in Buffalo? So, of course, the game's gonna start at 7:30, 9:30 in New York.
Yeah.
So since it's Sunday, you're not supposed to be, I guess they have the alcohol laws where you're not allowed to go and start drinking before noon. Bro, she passed a special law for this Sunday. Bars and restaurants can serve alcohol starting at 8:00 in the morning on Sunday just for Buffalo. So you know how Buffalo's gonna get. Buffalo's gonna get wild and crazy. Those fans are insane. But let's get back to the game. Jaguars looked good last week. I just don't see them stopping the Bills the way the Bills have been playing here the last few weeks. Bills are on fire. For me, I would drop this down to, if you can, 2.5. I doubt you can, but 3.5. I'm taking the Bills at 3.5.
Um, this game scares me. Only it's two sides of it. The Jaguars and international play historically have been great. You know,
Yes. Yes.
they're a team that I guess they like sending over there to play, and they've been great every time they've went. I don't think they have many losses going over there.
I
But the
think
Bills, after that first loss, they've been dominating everybody. Like, so I'm gonna go with Bills money line still, and yeah, still
yeah,
money
I
line Bills, and that's I'm keeping it like that because I don't know. It can
yeah, that's me. I believe, and don't quote me on this, because I'm recording right now, I can't pull it up, but I believe the Jaguars are undefeated when they go over to England and play. Don't quote me on it. I'd have to double check it,
I
but
know their record's really good. I know that. I know that
yeah.
for a fact.
Yeah, I know. If it's not undefeated, they've only lost one, two at the most. Like they play for some reason they play really well over there. I don't know what it is with Jacksonville and England.
Yeah, so this is like a home game for them actually because they're
Yeah.
always over there.
Yes, there is talks about them moving a team over there, and a lot of people are saying the Jags would make the perfect fit to go over there as a team. Let's get to our next game. We got Carolina against Detroit. Detroit is a 10-point favorite. They're 3-1, and of course Carolina hasn't won yet. Um, take Detroit. I mean, you got David Montgomery, you got Swift, you got with Laporta, Jared Goff. I mean, their run game is
Jameson
insane.
Williams is back now
Yeah,
after he's been reinstated.
yeah, Jameson Williams
So
is
they're
back.
finally getting all their weapons back. And yeah, I'm looking, if I could move this to 13 and a half, I would.
Yeah, I mean, and I believe I even seen a stat that Detroit's defense has only allowed 243 or 273 rushing yards this year, and that's
Hmm.
first in the NFL. So they're stopping the run and they're running the ball themselves magnificently. And when they hit that play action pass, Laporta is looking tremendous for this rookie tight end. Like I like Detroit with the points, and that's where I'm going with this one. Sorry, Jamar. Let's get to the next game, and I don't know how you're gonna feel about this game. Baltimore against your Steelers. Is Kenny Pickett gonna play, or is he gonna
He's
be out?
playing.
He's
No,
playing.
he's playing.
Uh, it's
Mhm.
hard for me to take him this week. I mean, last week they completely shit the bed. And let me ask you this: who needs to be fired? I know who you're gonna say, but is there another
Everybody,
person?
everybody's gonna say it. It's Matt Canada, 100%. Like that dude's. Oh man,
But is there somebody else that needs to be fired also?
no, just him. He needs. I mean, Ben. They were talking about it all. Past week. Um, he would get play calls from him like the first half and be like, "Okay, let me run this. Okay, okay." And then if you notice in the second half, the ball starts moving because Ben was like, "Oh, you calling the same thing from the first half? No, we're not running that." And you'll run something else. That's what you have to do. You gotta have to look at him and say, "Okay, this shit's getting redundant. It's not working. It's not going to work. We need to run something else and run your own plays." But in this
Yeah,
one, because it's a rivalry game, ooh.
AFC North football
Mm,
3 point game.
mm. I mean, the Ravens haven't beat us in a long time. Hmm. Let's see. 6 games they lost. We haven't
And,
seen Lamar, and
and
this is our
don't
first time actually playing against Lamar in like 3, 4 years.
yeah, and don't be
I'm still
biased just because
going
you're a
to.
Pittsburgh fan.
Oh, we're home. Yeah, I'm going Steelers.
The Steelers in the points at 4.
Nope, Steelers money line.
Oh, big bet right there. I think they're plus 240.
Definitely take that. Yeah,
I think
Steelers
or
money
two
line.
or 230.
Yeah,
Um, honestly, I want y'all to win. I would love for y'all to win just because that would give Baltimore a loss in the division and that would help us out. That's how I'm feeling. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. But I'm going to go with Baltimore. You know why? Because if I bet on Baltimore, Pittsburgh's going to win. And I'm going to go to 3 point. I'm going to move that to 3 points instead of just four because it is, like you said, it is AFC North. And that's down and dirty big boy football right there. Let's get over to our next game. We got Houston taking on Atlanta. And Atlanta is a 1.5 point favorite. This is going to be my lock for the week. This is one of my locks. Houston, money line.
What? So if y'all don't know what's going on with this, I mean, DJ Shroud, realistically, he's right now an easy runaway for rookie of the year. He's fourth in passing. He has what 9 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He hasn't thrown an interception this year. I'm definitely going with the Texans. Desmond Ritter has been struggling. I mean, their only offense realistically for Atlanta is pump fake, hand the ball off to Bijan Robinson. That's it.
That's their whole
Um,
offense. Just give the
yeah,
ball to Bijan.
get the ball to Bijan. Throw it to the flat. Hey, look downfield. Throw it to the flats to Bijan. Yeah, it's. I'm going Texans. I don't, especially how they played us last week. The Texans are they're warming up. Not to mention, I think the Falcons are overrated 2-2 team. So because one of those wins is against Carolina. So I mean, come on now. So
Yeah.
I'm definitely going with
Well, not only
the
that, but
Texans on that.
last Sunday they played against Jaguars in London. So I mean, they're gonna have a very short week. I mean, what is that? An 18-hour flight from Atlanta?
No, it's like
12-hour flight.
London from there, Atlanta. So about 6.5, 8 hour flight.
Oh, yeah, I mean they're gonna be jet lagged. You know, they're gonna have a day or two off. They're not gonna be working as much. I just see like you said, the way Houston's been playing. I forget what this coach's name is for Houston. I always remember it. I know he used to play, but in Houston, but I forget his name.
Yeah. They
Uh,
showed him so many times during the
yes,
game, and I was like, I'm tired of seeing this dude. We're
and
losing. Show
they're
me the game. I
killing
don't want
it.
to see him.
Yeah, they're
So,
killing it. You just didn't want to see it because y'all were losing.
oh yeah, 100%. I honestly admit that.
But let's get to our next game. We got Kansas City taking on Minnesota in Minnesota. Kansas City is a 4 point favorite. They're 3-1. And Minnesota is 1-3. I'm gonna take Kansas City at 3 points just for a safe bet. But Kansas City is gonna come out and completely destroy them.
I'm gonna do it at 2.5, Kansas City. Yeah, it's Justin Jefferson. He's gonna get off. The main thing with the Vikings is getting rid of untimely turnovers for no reason, especially
Mm-hmm.
not in the red zone. Um, I see it kind of being a shootout, but Pat Mahomes is still Pat Mahomes, as you've seen last week. Regardless of the holding calls that weren't called, it is what it is.
Yes,
So I'm going
trust
with
me. I know.
I'm going with the Chiefs -2.5.
Yes, I know. They always happen, and for some reason, the Chiefs get away with it every year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's get to the Saints and the Patriots. Patriots are a 1 point favorite. They're 1-3, and the Saints are 2-2. I believe Derek Carr will be playing in this game. Um, I don't know how is Zach Bailey going to be playing. Is
No, Matt Jones playing. It's just he played against a tough defense. I don't see They said
He's
that
going to
he's
be playing
limited in
against a tough
practice.
defense again this week too.
Yeah, I know. I'm still going for the Patriots. The only difference is that if Derek Carr's playing, hmm, I don't know. I don't know. If Derek Carr's playing, yes, I'll go with the Saints. If not, then I'll go with the Patriots. The main thing is that they get that chemistry restored and established between Derek Carr, his receivers, but also Alvin Kamara, who's back. And yeah, with Jameis, if Jameis plays, Patriots all the way.
if
And
James if Jameis
I'm cool with you.
plays if
Yeah,
Jameis plays prop bet half an interception or more, one interception or more, Jameis Winston will have it. And then if you parlay it with uh oh, what's his name? From the Rams.
Matt Stafford
Yes, parlay it with Stafford.
going to
Sorry.
pick two picks.
And for him to throw a pick, he's playing the
That's
Eagles.
actually that's a really good one, bro.
I know it is.
That's a really good one.
You can and if you need to hop on parlay play, you can put that one in. Possibly, I haven't figured out exactly how to get all those bets, but I know Bovada you can do prop bets,
That's
and
a really good one, dude.
yes, that's if Jameis Winston is playing.
Mhm.
So of course, depending on who plays, I'm gonna take the Saints in this one. Even if Jameis plays, I just see them handing the ball off to Alvin Kamara and him going off this week, trying to get that, spider webs off of his legs and letting him play since he hasn't played yet. I just believe the Saints will pull this one out. Um, let's get on over to Titans and Colts. Titans are one
Mm,
and a half point favorite.
mm,
Um, I don't know. This one's a hard one for me to pick, honestly, because the Titans looked good last week against the Bengals, and Bengals played like shit last week. Um, the Colts, Anthony Richardson, he's I believe second or third runner up for rookie of the year. He's doing really well. He was injured he missed one or two games, but this Colts team is different than what they were last year. For me, I'm gonna take Colts plus 2.5, just because you don't know which Titans team is gonna show up next week.
true. Um, I'm gonna go with Titans money line just because I think they finally got the running game established. Their defense is hit or miss, but Derrick Henry he went crazy last week, so
Yes, I
Derrick
know.
Henry is still Derrick Henry. Yeah, that's one thing that'll never change unless he just gets old and banged up. Then, but that freight train running, I'm going with the Titans. Not to
Yeah,
mention Ryan Tannehill got some passes off the DeAndre
yeah.
Hopkins, which is
It was
that's what they need to do, you know.
it was
So
that
I
play
think
action. It was all it was. It was a
yeah,
play action.
that's what they were supposed to be doing all year.
Yeah, the Bengals didn't know when they were going to hand the ball off, and when they thought that they were handing the ball off, Ryan Tannehill just took it from Derrick Henry and wide open downfield. Trust me, I watched it. I was pissed.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't yet, hit that like, subscribe, share this video. Follow us on Facebook, Athletic Arena Podcast. But let's jump into the next game, and I believe this is the last game for the morning games, and it's the Giants and the Dolphins. Giants are 1-3, Dolphins are 3-1, and they are 11.5 point favorites. After that letdown last week for Miami, I see Miami coming out and just straight whooping the Giants' ass.
Um,
Another
yeah.
70 burger.
After you see what happened to the Giants, like the Giants when they played Seattle, dude, I was like, I was on the road watching the game. I had the my phone right on my screen and everything while I was driving. And they were hiking. Daniel Jones was hiking the ball, and people were coming free. And I was like, "Yo, what's going on?" Like he didn't even get to finish his drop, and he was either running for his life or getting sacked already. He got sacked 12. It was like a record. He's the first person to get sacked 9 times and throw a pick six. And he's also he got sacked 12 times in total and fumbled the ball twice because I mean you can't. It's I don't know. They need something. I know they have some injuries on their offensive line. The Dolphins, they played a tough Bills team that's been rolling after they first lost. I see, yeah, the Dolphins. I see them beating the Giants by 13. Well, by
Yeah,
2 touchdowns easily. So I'm going Miami 13 and a half.
Miami 13.5.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Um, and that does it for the morning games. We will get over to our first late game, and that's going to be the Bengals traveling to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. Bengals are a 3-point favorite. Both teams are 1-3. And some news with Burrow. Burrow was actually rolling out at practice, getting more mobile. They were practicing the deep ball. And he looks better. He said in his interview today, he's not feeling no pain, and this is the best he's felt. Well, this better be the fucking best you felt because Bengal fans are pissed. You get a big contract. You had a full month off from when they told you when Zach Taylor came out and said Burrow had a calf injury. And I believe it's been like 58 days since then. This calf injury should not take that long to recover from. You got paid, you need to play. You can see Jamar Chase is getting upset and pissed off. T. Higgins is hurt and injured. Honestly, the only one that's doing anything is Tyler Boyd and Joe Mixon. Of course, the defense is going to give up on you whenever you're not putting up any points. How are you one of the top 5 offenses in the league and you've only put up 13 points in 4 games? It's insane. To me, I'm just taking I'll take Cardinals and the points on this one. Cardinals look good against Dallas. They came out and played really great. The way the Bengals looked last week, give me the Cardinals and the points.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing. I'm gonna bump those points up to 3.5, 4.5. Only reason why is because of the confidence Josh Dobbs is getting. Not to mention the familiarity he has playing against the Bengals because he was the backup quarterback for the Steelers. So he's seen everything they have and he's seen a lot. And just how smart he is. James Conner, the same thing. I'm gonna go with Arizona plus 4.5.
4.5 or 3.5.
4.5.
Okay. And then we got the Eagles taking on the Rams. Eagles are 4-point favorites. Of course, they're undefeated at 4-0, and the Rams are 2-2. To me, this is a lot. Take the Eagles with 4 points.
I'm going Eagles money line. Realistically, I mean, as far as me safe betting, I'm gonna do Eagles money line. As far as me betting, I'm gonna do Eagles 6.5, only because Matt Stafford is MO 2 picks guaranteed. Um, yeah, definitely. And it's crazy. I'm looking at the stats. Jalen Hurts, 950 yards, 5 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Matt Stafford, 1,229 yards, 3 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. Yeah,
Yeah, like
he's
I
going to give
said,
the game away. So I'm definitely going with Eagles 6.5
yeah,
by touchdown.
that's a good one too. I'm gonna take the points at 4, but to bet I will take the 6.5 to cover by a touchdown.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's get over to our last late game before we get into the Sunday night game. The Jets taking on the Broncos. Both teams are 1-3, and the Broncos are a 1.5 point favorite. To me, the Jets have a better defense. I'm
Better defense. I mean, and
and
the
they have a
and
better
the
offense. And
I mean
Garrett,
how they move the ball.
yeah,
It's
Zach Wilson looked great in the second half of that game. They almost beat
yeah.
Kansas City. If it wasn't for that little fumble at the end of the game, they would have possibly beat the Chiefs. And that would have been good. But
Great
who would
momentum. I still think it's great momentum moving forward.
me
Um,
too.
the Broncos, they actually, realistically, they got torched by the Bears.
Yeah.
And came back in the end, which I don't think they should have, but I mean, they did. Take my hats off to them, but I don't see that happening with the Jets defense. I'm going with the Jets money line. It's an upset.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. As soon as I seen this, I was like, oh, I want to jump on this bet.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and now on to our Sunday night game. And this one is going to be, I believe we're actually going to have a great Sunday night game for once. We got the Cowboys traveling to San Francisco to take on the Niners. Niners are undefeated, 4-0. Dallas is 3-1. And San Francisco is a 3.5 point favorite. To me, I would take San Francisco at 6.5.
That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
Um,
I
that's
don't believe.
me.
Yeah.
I don't know. Safe bet, just take San Francisco money line. I see Dak Prescott choking. It's primetime game. He's going up against an actually great defense. Um, and this defense is just tearing people up. And plus, everybody is figuring out now how to stop Micah Parsons or how to slow him down. Um,
With the offensive line the 49ers have there,
yeah.
he's he's not getting in there like that. I'm going 49ers 6.5. It's not even a question.
Yeah, that
Only
was me
because I
too.
don't see Dak turning the ball over maybe once this game. But that's only because I guess they got in his ear and said, "Hey, you turning the ball over." There's this internet jokes about you throwing picks, and so he's been really cautious. But that caution is going to kill him in this game. Not to mention him holding on to the ball. He's going to probably take a lot of hits and a lot of sacks.
Now
So I'm
don't
looking at the 49ers.
no, don't get me wrong, Dallas will make this a game. It depends on what defense shows up. If that defense that played against Arizona shows up, San Francisco by 14.
Mm-hmm.
If the defense that scores 14 points because of special teams or your defense, pick six, fumble recovery, whatever, if that defense shows up, yes, this could be an upset. It could be. Dallas's defense is possibly the best, if not second best in the league. They're top five guaranteed.
Oh yeah, but if
But
anything, the best would
yes,
be 49ers, who they're going up against.
exactly.
So
But yeah, like I said, safe bet Niners money line if you want to gamble and possibly pull the upset and bet dogs and under. Go with Dallas on this one. Um, it's a toss up. But let's get to our final game, and that is Monday Night Football with the Packers
mm,
going up against the Raiders. Um, for me, none of the Raiders players seem happy at all with Mike McDaniels. They completely don't want. It sounds like the players don't even want to play for him anymore. They're tired of losing. They have good players. They just for some reason can't pull it off. Um, and right now, the Packers just came off that loss. Uh,
to Detroit. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm going with Green Bay. With the actual, yeah, I'm going with Green Bay money line. If I could move it to 2.5, I would. It's just more production in Green Bay side. Um, Jordan Love, he was behind Aaron Rodgers and kind of picked up something because he's at 8 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, and Jimmy G. I mean, Porn star Jimmy. I mean, he's 5 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Leads the league right now. I don't believe in him. The only time there's a bright spot is when he throws the ball to Devontae Adams and kind of hands the ball off to Josh Jacobs, who's it seems like he's coming around, but I still give the edge in defense overall to Green Bay, especially since they
I agree with
yeah,
you, but I'm gonna
yeah.
move my spread to 2.5. That's what I'm gonna take Green Bay at 2.5, and that'll end. We can get in that game. Will actually put it into week 5, and hopefully, we do better than we did last week, because last week we didn't do too well in the NFL. We had we had a push, we had draws, we had losses. Let's put it this way, but we both had over 7 losses last week in the NFL. So it wasn't a good week. Hopefully this week is a better week. Um like I said, if you guys want to sign up on Bovada, find the link in the description. Sign up. You guys can deposit money. If you're depositing with, Bitcoin or crypto, you can get up to $4,000 in bonuses. If you're just doing credit card, debit card, Venmo, you can get up to $400 in bonuses. I will post that in the link. And good luck on your bets this weekend.